What's better than Spider-Man? Spider-Man 2. What's better than the Switch? The Switch 2. What's better than Five Nights at Freddy's? Five Nights at Freddy's 2. What's better than the DS? The 3DS. Wait a minute, you guys don't know how long I have waited to make a video like this. The last time I talked about Fnaf games on the 3DS, besides my own project, has been so long. I am legit a whole new person. The atoms in my body are fundamentally different. This 3DS port was made by no other than Dimolade, aka the guy who helped work on my Fnaf fan game for the 3DS. This guy actually made a lot of 3DS Fnaf ports, so I'll definitely be checking those out soon. Get subscribed for that. Okay, so what exactly is so special about Fnaf 2 on the 3DS? Well, for starters, it's on the 3DS, my favorite console, so immediately it feels so much cooler. But also, this version utilizes a lot of the 3DS features, like the touchscreen, just like the previous game I looked at. The bottom touchscreen works as a camera switch button. Plus, you can also wind up the music box here, so there is a bit more utility now in the cams themselves. Additionally, the mask is also accessible on the touchscreen, which is really cool. If you hate doing touch stuff, we do have buttons bound to these controls also. This is actually really useful for the mask in the scenarios where you need to close cams and immediately put on the mask, since it's a little difficult to do it on the regular touchscreen. This is something the Switch version also does, though I still don't think either of these hold a candle to the mouse controls of the PC game. I think the most surprising thing about this port is that everything is buttery smooth. The game didn't have any noticeable slowdowns gameplay-wise when I was playing it. Jump scares were super smooth, camera switching was really clean, literally nothing lagged. This version is way more optimized for the hardware. I don't know how this game would fare on an original 3DS unit, but it for sure is an improvement performance-wise over the last port I looked at. Plus, this game faithfully recreates all the cool little Easter eggs and stuff that FNAF 2 was packed with. I've seen JJ show up in The Office. There are rare animatronic screens that exist. Heck, I was super impressed when I saw the FNAF 2 minigame show up, because out of anything, I was expecting these to get cut. But no, they are here. They don't control exactly the same, but like, out of everything, it's just cool that they even exist. I don't think this version of the game cuts any corners gameplay-wise. Everything is here. However, this is on the 3DS, so now I have to kind of tear into it a bit because there are some issues. While everything was crammed into this game, I feel like a lot of concessions were made. Like, this game runs smooth as butter, but it doesn't look the greatest. Now, it would be one thing if everything looked bad, but the weird thing is that it doesn't look consistently bad. Some assets are really high quality for 3DS standards. Like when Mangle shows up here, they are super clear, which is very unusual because the cams are super blurry. I know what's going on here. Clearly Mangle is so much smaller in size, so they can be higher quality, but it is really noticeable, especially since with the blurry cams, while in some situations it's fine, some of them are just like unreadable. I can't even see Withered Bonnie in this image. Like, I know he's right there, but do I really know he's there? I can't tell. This is kind of an extreme case, but all of the cameras are so blurry, it does make it really hard to actually see anything at all. I know why it's low res, but it's really hard to actually play the game when you can't tell if someone is there or not. The funny thing is, some of these assets are actually resized in a way where even though the game is widescreen-ish, everything isn't stretched. FNAF 2 actually is a 4:3 aspect ratio game natively, which means everything gets stretched when you play it on a widescreen. Sometimes it's not super noticeable, but like on the Switch version, for example, you're actually able to switch between 16:9 and 4:3. And 4:3 looks way better. However, in the 3DS game, that's not actually what's happening. The assets are in their original aspect ratio, just translated to a wider screen, which I think is really cool. It makes it so that all of the animatronics don't look like they were put into a hydraulic press. But okay, I think some of you have been screaming about the placement of this office fan. And yes, I do realize the issue here. This may be a side effect of the non-stretched assets or something. I'm not 100% sure, but I just don't understand why the fan is obscuring the hallway. Oh, well, if I can't see Foxy, Foxy can't see me. It doesn't break the game, but it's definitely a sore spot compared to the other versions because it obscures a very integral part of the game, the hallway. The controls are a little stiff. Moving around in the office is kind of slow. I don't know why it's this slow. Like, it should be way faster, especially if you have to swing around to the other vent in order to check it. The weird thing is that this game doesn't use the analog stick at all. I understand maybe using the D-pad for finer adjustments, but using the analog stick for more broad movements would have been really nice. Also, I don't know if this is a feature or a bug, but I find it funny how whenever I get jump scared by the puppet, the game always crashes. It honestly adds to the experience. Oh, and another thing about the puppet is that the music box actually has a bug or an oversight. You are able to have it auto wind if you close the cams when you are winding up the music box. Basically, you start winding it up, close the cams, open it up again, and it'll just start winding up without you having to interact with anything. I definitely abuse this bug, but I don't actually think it really changes much about the experience because you still have to go to that camera to wind up the music box anyway. But to close things off, this port is really good. There are some rough parts like the visuals, which kind of flip-flop from being really good for the 3DS and that's soup. But I was honestly impressed at how well everything ran. This game works really well on the 3DS control-wise, even though it does feel a little stiff at times, and I really enjoyed playing it on here. The highlight is definitely the touchscreen, which makes camera switching super simple. It has a leg up on playing Fnaf 2 on the TV on the Switch version in that regard. And it was really difficult. I do think the AI is on point. I just think I'm bad at the game. Like, honestly, my Fnaf 2 playing muscles have been kind of rusty, but this game definitely feels authentic to the original game experience. So I think if you play this version, besides the visuals, which can be hit or miss, you will get the Fnaf 2 experience with this. Now, I have to just wait for a Wii U port. Then it would be perfect because then you could have the touchscreen at the bottom and like the camera would be there too and you could see the animatronics coming up there. Wait!